Hey guys, how's it going? Today's video I'm going to be going over my ownership experience. I've got over 10,000 miles on the 2021 Ducati Panigale V4s, and I'm here to share my thoughts and impressions with you all. Alright, without further ado, let's dive right in. So let's go over the things I love about this motorcycle. Number one, looks. Definitely a 10 out of 10 in the looks category. It's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. One of the best looking super bikes out there in the market today. Do a full 360 walk around. Yeah, that's looks for you. It's made by Italians, if you haven't already know. And they do know how to make things look very appealing. Number two, performance. This thing out of the box performs like no other. It's insane how much this thing packs in terms of power, acceleration, braking, handling. It's all in one, integrated. Out of the box with the S model, this comes with Öhlins electronically adaptive suspension front and rear. It's got Öhlins steering dampener. They're all electronic. It comes with Brembo 330 millimeter twin discs, Stylema calipers, Brembo brake pads, front and rear, all decked out right out of the box when you option it out with the S model, as well as it comes with Marchesini wheels. They are forged aluminum, so they're pretty lightweight. This thing's got loads of power, 214 bhp out of the box. This thing's got an exhaust, race filters, and a tune on this, specifically the Sprint P08 F1 race filter, alongside with the full titanium aero slip-on and the T800 upnap by Terminioni. So this thing is definitely pushing at minimum 225 out of the crank. It definitely feels like a rocket ship. It pulls so hard, and this bike is capable north of 200 miles per hour. Easy. Braking, you've got excellent braking. The brakes feel super precise. Bites really good, bites really hard. They're Brembo Stylema calipers. You've got Brembo master brake cylinder, as well as a Brembo clutch system. So this is hydraulically actuated, and it's not a traditional cable. So it's really cool. This is one of the few bikes out there that is hydraulically actuated in terms of the clutch system. Like I was saying earlier, the sensitivity, the feel, everything is just a lot of stopping power. Under hard braking, you don't feel any brake fade. It doesn't feel squishy at all. I did put Motul racing brake fluid on this. It's night and day comparing to bone stock fluids, especially on the rear, because the rear brakes get cooked, like the reservoir gets cooked, and so pretty much it's useless. But when you put on that racing brake fluid by Motul, it bites. So highly recommend that product. Link in the description. In terms of handling, it's not as flickable as the Aprilia that I used to have. It was the RSV4 1100 factory, but it is very stable. It's very confidence inspiring and easy to ride. So if you're a beginner, this is your first leader bike, highly recommend it. It's super easy to ride, man. It's just got a lot of power, so definitely tone it down on the electronics. Speaking of, this has the 6-axis IMU, slide control, wheelie control, traction control, ABS, launch control, everything out of the box. With that being said, yeah, like I was saying, performance is 10 out of 10, easy. Next thing I love about this bike is road presence. Everyone knows what it is. Everyone knows it's a Ducati. And when you see one of these pulling up behind you, it's really intimidating, honestly. It's like the lights, which brings me on to the next thing I love about this bike is the TFT dash. It's got a full TFT display. The dash is extremely crisp. And let me start it up for you. That's the sound for you of the mighty V4. Oh, another thing that I love about this bike is the ease of maintenance, ease of use. When you're changing out the oil, it's super easy. It's literally 4 bolts on the side fairings and then a couple of push pins underneath. And then the lower fairing comes off. Really easy to maintain. I do my own maintenance, oil change, filter change, and then the brakes, brake fluid. So extremely easy to change. Save yourself a couple $100 and do it yourself. With that being said, I mean, this bike is nearly perfect. However, I do have to be honest with you in terms of my ownership experience. But before I dive into the cons, one big positive about this bike is reliability. A lot of people get the misconception that Ducatis are the most unreliable super bikes that you can get. That is totally a myth, and it's not true for all Ducatis. Ever since Audi took over, they have been on a positive climb in terms of reliability and quality. So many of you know Audi owns Lamborghini as well, and they all fall under the Volkswagen group. So they're teamed up with the Germans, and it's German engineering as well. So it's not just pure Italian. So definitely, I've got over 10,000 miles on this bike. No problems, like absolutely zero. Zero issues. On the Aprilia, I've had a couple of hiccups, a couple of things that broke on me, and I had to take it into the dealer for repairs. But this one, zero. 10,000 miles, knock on wood, no issues. Now let's transition over to the things I don't like about this bike. Number one is the wheel, removing the wheel. It is extremely tight out of the box. Granted that once this nut comes off, the whole wheel slides out, so that's pretty cool. However, this nut is pretty much torqued at over 180 foot-pounds. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's north of 150 foot-pounds of torque, and you literally need like a 6-foot breaker bar to get the wheel out. So that's my first gripe. The second thing I don't really like about this bike, I mean, I already knew this coming in, is the 15,000 mile Desmodromic valve check and valve adjust for a full system head to toe maintenance service. Parts and labor, it will cost you $1,500 US when you have the dealer work on it. I don't really trust aftermarket mechanics out there. Definitely you'll save a ton of money, but for a big service like that, I want the official Ducati working on my bike when it comes to the motor. So in case they screw up, they'll get you another bike. The next dislike about this, my ownership experience, is the heat. Although it's not unbearable, it is definitely there. The heat circulates around your thighs constantly, and sometimes it's totally random, but you'll definitely feel the heat. It's not something that's a major issue, but it is definitely there. So something to keep in mind if you're trying to buy this bike is it will linger around your thighs. So to prevent that, or to mitigate the amount of heat scorching your skin, just wear proper gear. Wear motorcycle pants, leathers, whatever you want. Just make sure it's appropriate for riding, and you're golden. So I can't really ding this, but I do have to mention it since I just want to be honest. I mean, I daily all of my bikes. This is not the best motorcycle to daily, so if you're trying to get a commuter, this is not really it. It does consume quite a bit. I mean, it's a liter bike, it's expected. It's pushing out 214 out of the box, and it's got 1103 cc's, so it's not a Ninja 300. In town, you'll definitely need to feather the clutch, because it is a high output, high revving, higher cc motorcycle. So first gear, you're definitely gonna have to feather the clutch when it comes to low speed turns and mobbing in and out of town. Well, that pretty much wraps up my 10,000 mile ownership experience. The big question is, if I were to turn back time, would I buy this bike again? Absolutely, yes. Full send every time. This is one of the best bikes I've ridden. I've ridden a lot of Japanese bikes. I've ridden Yamaha and Kawasaki as well. They're all great bikes for sure, but this one is just a cornetto. You know, those of you who don't know what cornetto is, look it up. It's a delight, honestly. It's absolutely gorgeous. The performance shows for it. It is one of the best super bikes you can buy for the money. Although it is a bit more expensive, this retails at $28,695. If you do your due diligence and shop around, I got this bike below MSRP. I got it for $26 out the door. So, and this is the S model. Just take your time, be patient, and a good deal will pop up. So, in summary, I went over the pros and cons of this motorcycle. Some of the things I loved about it is the performance, the handling, braking, acceleration, power, looks. Some of the things I don't like about it is it takes a lot of power to remove the rear wheel nut to get the rear tire off. And another big thing is be prepared to shell out $1,500 US when you come up on that 15,000 miles service interval. So it's not that bad. If you look at it big picture, you're not gonna get there in 2 months, 3 months. It's gonna take some time. I'm definitely an anomaly. I put like recently 100 miles every day on this bike, so, and I've got 10,000 miles in 10 months, more or less. So, all right, cool. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please list them below and I'll be happy to answer all of them. If you like that video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll be posting more content like this. Oh, and big news for those of you just watching this video and tuning in. I've got a bike inbound. It's gonna be a brand new bike. I don't want to spoil it yet for anybody, but it's definitely coming. So it's just gonna take some time, but I will definitely keep you guys posted on any movement I may get. It's being built right now somewhere on this planet, so really excited for that. I will definitely do an unveil video when the time comes. But this is Ape Rider. Thanks for watching. Signing out. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out and ride safe.